Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, and I'm here to review the May 1984 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. So let's open up the magazine and get to reviewing. Of course, the table of contents, Between the Falls, where fans write letters to the magazine, Ringside with Bill Apter, all the latest news, and of course the biggest story was the Iron Sheik beating Bob Backlund to win the WWF World Championship. You put Bob Backlund in a camel clutch and Otto Skolin threw in the towel. So your new champion that nobody expected, Iron Sheik, is the new WWF World Champion. King's Court with Peter King, where he just talks about how courageous Bob Backlund was to wrestle in the first place, even though he had got injured by the Iron Sheik a week before, that he still went in and wrestled. Dressing Room Confidential by Stu Sachs, where he goes to try to interview Iron Sheik, but gets the interview of Freddie Blassie instead. What They Are Saying. There's quotes from Mike Von Erich, Rocky Johnson, Ken Patera, Ted DiBiase, Magnum TA, Greg Valentine, Hector Guerrero, Paul Ellering, Tony Guerrero. Let's see what Mike Von Erich has to say. So far, so good. I haven't lost a match yet, and I have to credit my brothers and my dad for that. They've been a big help to me. I don't know if I can keep this winning streak going, but I'll try my hardest. The fans have been really great. Also, it's really exciting to hear them cheer for me, and I'll do everything I can to keep that going. Okay, so that's from Mike Von Erich. Back issues of Inside Wrestling and The Wrestler. There's an on assignment with Liz Hunter, where she talks about Magnum TA and his struggles with Mr. Wrestling 2. How Mr. Wrestling 2 doesn't want Magnum to team with Lanny Poffo because he believes that that Lanny's family is bad, so that'll make Lanny a bad person, and Magnum doesn't agree with that. Off the Top Rope with Dan Shockett, and he talks about the Von Erichs, and he compares them to the Three Stooges. And I think the thing with this was, the magazines come out a lot later, so I think this came out around the same time that David Von Erich died. So I know they said that Fritz was really mad at this magazine for having the Von Erichs look bad right when David Von Erich passed away. But this was made earlier, but it came out around the time that David died. Press conference with Mike Rotundo. In Focus, they have a contest where you have to guess who the person is, and they have this picture, and they said it's Eddie Graham right here, and Mike Graham is on top of him, and they're trying to tell you who the person is that's being covered. And by the looks of it, I think this is Bob Orton Jr. If you can get a good look at it. I think that was Cowboy Bob Orton. And they just have, they're also giving the 1983 awards to the winners. A study in contrast. Ric Flair the challenger versus Ric Flair the challenge versus Ric Flair the challenger versus Ric Flair the champion. And when he's the what Rick talks about when he's the champion, when he's the challenger, he feels a lot more free, and he can do a lot more stuff. He can take a lot more chances, and he has more fun. But when he's the champion, he's very strict. He doesn't want to take too many he doesn't want to take too many chances, and he doesn't like that. And he's nowhere near as carefree as he would as a challenger, because he doesn't want to make a mistake, because when he's the champion and he makes a mistake, he loses the championship. Jimmy Hart's plan to destroy the Fabulous Ones. I'll make Kern and Lane hate each other again. And they talk about when Stan Lane was a bad guy and him and Steve Kern had some issues, and Jimmy's trying to put stuff in their head to try to break them up. But that did not happen. Hulk Hogan. Can the fans ever forgive his past treachery? Now, this is when Hulk Hogan just came back to the WWF after his run in the AWA as, the biggest babyface in that company. But the last time he was in the WWF, he was a bad guy. So I guess they're trying to figure that the WWF fans that only watch WWF wouldn't know him from his good guy AWA days. They would only remember him from his bad guy WWF ways. So they wonder, will those WWF fans forgive him? And of course they did. Wrestling pinup close-up, the Natural Butch Reed. Well, I guess he was Hacksaw Butch Reed at that point. Okay, Butch Reed's greatest match, he had him against Ric Flair. His toughest opponent, Ivan Koloff. His most hated opponent, the Junkyard Dog. On his favorite maneuver, the press slam. Okay, you got Rich and Sawyer versus the Road Warriors. How this match proved Paul Ellering a genius. Now, this match was supposed to be the Road Warriors versus Brett Sawyer and Bart. Bart Sawyer, but Bart was hurt, so Paul Ellering convinced Tommy Rich to be Buzz Sawyer's partner, and this was right after they had that big feud with each other. Tommy Rich and Buzz Sawyer had that legendary feud. So, and Buzz Sawyer had became a babyface, but he was teaming with his brother, but his brother was hurt. So Paul Ellering convinced Tommy Rich to team up with Buzz Sawyer. But then, of course, they wind up losing, and the Road Warriors won. So Paul Ellering was very proud of convincing two enemies, Rich and Buzz Sawyer, to team up. And from the Wrestling Inquirer, it says how the Sawyer brothers captured the national titles from the Road Warriors. So I guess Bart Sawyer came back and they wound up winning the tag team titles. And it also talks about Gary Hart courting Ernie Ladd to come to Mid-Atlantic to face Angela Mosca. And Bob Backlund's future uncertain after WWF loss. Crusher Darso and Nikolai Volkov form a tag team in Mid-South. Matt Brock looking at Mad Dog Vachon. The WWF Arena, well, it's just, I guess right now it's the WWF Arena Report, where fans send in match results from the arenas they go to. And I guess it started out with just WWF shows, but then eventually it became every show. And of course, the big show is the Madison Square Garden show, where Iron Sheik defeated Bob Backlund for the WWF World Title. Continuation of Ringside, where they talk about Angela Mosca Jr.'s son is on his way to the Mid-Atlantic area. Yeah, he was something, all right. Kevin Sullivan threw some ink in Dusty Rhodes' sister's face. He tried to throw it at Dusty, but Dusty moved out the way, and the ink hit Dusty's sister in the eyes. So Dusty was real mad about that. A continuation of King's Court, where they're talking about Backlund, Iron Sheik winning the title, and how courageous Bob Backlund was for even stepping in the ring. This month in WWF, this month in The Wrestler, AWA champion Nick Bockwinkel makes a plea to his manager Bobby Heenan. I'm bored. Find someone to challenge me. And Inside Wrestling, exclusive, the real story behind Ricky Steamboat's painful decision to quit professional wrestling. Dressing Room Confidential, and this is when Stu Sachs is talking to Freddie Blassie. Continuation of the Ric Flair story. Continuation of the Magnum TA story. Continuation of the Jimmy Hart story, trying to break up the Fabulous Ones. You have the official ratings. The top 10, Ric Flair. Number 2 is Andre the Giant. Number 3 is David Von Erich. Number 4 is Dusty Rhodes. Number 5 is Nick Bockwinkel. Number 6 is Hulk Hogan. Number 7 is Pedro Morales. Number 8 is Harley Race. Number 9 is Dino Bravo. Number 10 is Roddy Piper. Top 10 tag teams. Number 1 is the NWA World Tag Team Champions, Rick Steamboat and Jay Youngblood. Number 2 is the AWA Tag Team Champions, Ken Patera and Crusher Blackwell. Number 3 is the World Class Six-Man Champions, the Von Erichs. Number 4, the National Tag Team Champions, Buzz Sawyer and Brett Sawyer. Number 5, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, Dusty Rhodes and Blackjack Mulligan. Number 6, the WWF Tag Team Champions, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. Number 7, the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Mr. Wrestling 2 and Magnum TA. Number 8, the Mid-Southern Tag Team Champions, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane. Number 9, the Canadian International Tag Team Champions, Tony Parisi and Gino Brito. And number 10, the World Wrestling Council North American Tag Team Champions, the Mass Medics. And the ratings analysis, they talk about the Iron Sheik winning the championship, but he's not. They didn't rate it. They didn't put him in the top 10. Okay, this has been a review of the May 1984 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I would say thanks for watching.